Hello and welcome. I am Terence Tumenta. Thank you for joining us to talk about dealing with stigma as someone living with drug use. This is part 3 of a 4 parts series to bring information and tools that we hope you find useful. What is stigma? Stigma is when someone assumes bad things about you because of a characteristic or trait such as skin color, using drugs, religion, or even your hairstyle. When someone treats you differently based on this is discrimination. There are many beliefs that may contribute to stigma and discrimination. Some of these beliefs are people living with a mental illness or substance use disorder are dangerous. People who use drugs are criminals, and that addiction is just a lack of self control or strength. But it is important to remember that these statements are often not true and can hurt those who use drugs. People living with mental illness or using drugs say the stigma they face is often so bad that they struggle to get help because of feeling embarrassed or ashamed.
Now, how can we handle stigma from family and loved ones? Sometimes people we're close to can judge us unfairly. The first thing to do is be honest with yourself about your substance use. After that, get support. A therapist, support group, or other resources can help you handle your substance use and give you people to lean on who aren't family. Support groups can also help you realize that you are not alone in your feelings and experiences.
Remember, you are more than just a person who uses drugs. You are not your actions. It's something you do, not who you are. Do not believe it. If we hear or experience something often enough, it's easy to start believing that it's true. Try not to let the ignorance of others influence the way you think or feel about yourself.
Talk to your community health representative, support group, or counselor about how to talk to your family and friends about your drug use. By sharing your experiences, they might better understand what you're going through if they're open to listening.
Set limits. If your family is overly judgmental, it's important to protect your mental health. This could mean having less contact with them or deciding on topics that should not be talked about.
How can we stop judgment from the community? Beyond your family, there are ways to find help and community. Communities can support each other, especially groups like drug user unions. But what are those? Drug user unions are organizations made by and for people who use drugs, like teacher unions or labor unions. People who use drugs work to educate the public about the rights of drug users, like getting healthcare services to reduce harm and to fight against unfair treatment. They are a part of a bigger effort to change drug policies and reduce harm. What do these unions want to achieve? Usually, they want to teach people who use drugs about their rights and give them information about safe drug use and harm reduction. They offer support from peers and chances to connect, like events and online groups. They also want to help people who use drugs stand up for themselves and their communities, and to be a part of making rules. If you're interested in joining a drug user union, please let our community health representative know, and they can connect you.
By making people less judgmental and promoting kinder ways to deal with drug use, we can make sure everyone gets the help they need to recover and live good lives.
Thank you for joining us today. To summarize, people who use drugs often experience both stigma and discrimination. Some of the ways to handle stigma and discrimination are: get support from a counselor, get support from other people who use drugs, or advocate for those who use drugs. Don't believe it. Set limits to protect yourselves from those who may discriminate or stigmatize you for using drugs. Ask your community health representative for more information.